Hello, guys. Today we are going to talk about a book called I Dreamed of Africa by Kuki Gallmann. First of all, this is basically a true story and a memoir, or you can call it a biography of the person. It's a book by author Kuki Gallmann, okay, who is the author of this book, and she has written this book, I Dreamed of Africa. You can see the cover, it's pretty beautiful and nice. It's based in Africa actually. Anyways, so this book is basically a true story, and it is written by a woman, which is nice actually. So what happens next is that it's basically about Africa. As the title tells you, I dreamed of Africa. It's basically about a woman called Kugi Gallman who is from Venice, Italy. She is born in Italy, and she always has a fascination for the continent of Africa ever since she was a little child. So finally, after a long time of living in Italy, she goes to Africa to fulfill her dream and desire to see Africa and go to Africa. Okay, so she goes to Africa, she goes to the country called Kenya, and she goes to the capital or the biggest city in Kenya called Nairobi, Kenya. And that's what the whole book revolves around, guys. And she goes there in the 1970s. She is born in Venice and she goes to Italy, and she goes to Africa for the first time in 1970 into Kenya, and then she goes again to live there in 1972. So this book is based in the back in the 1970s, which is a long time ago, guys. And then what happens is that she falls in love with Africa, she falls in love with Kenya, she falls in love with the city of Nairobi, and then she gets married to a man called Paulo, and she has a son with him. She is very much in love with the man Paulo, and this is the story of her life about how she falls in love with a man called Paulo and has a son who is a nice son and a nice kid. So that's what the book revolves around. It's about how she loves her son and husband very much. But then tragedy strikes, and her husband and son die, and she's left all alone with no one to care for. And there's a funeral held for her husband, but she's very upset and depressed and doesn't know what to do. So that's what happens in the book, guys. And as I told you before, it's based in the 1970s in Africa, Kenya, in the city of Nairobi. There's a lot of mention about animals like snakes and rhinos and elephants and lizards and stuff like that. So that's what happened in the book, guys. It was a nicely written book. It's kind of a memoir or a biography. It was not that great. It was just okay. It was not that great. But anyone who has a fascination or love for Africa can read this book and like it. It's written by Kugi Gallman, which is a funny name, the author of the book, who's from Italy. So, this book is about Africa, and anyone who loves Africa should read this book. It's an inside guide into Africa, and that's what happens in the book, guys. So, she keeps on returning to Africa again and again because she can't get enough of it. Okay, guys. So, there's a lot of mention about animals like snakes in it and stuff like that. Okay. And then she has no one to live for in Africa. And then the book comes to an abrupt end, and that's what happens in the book. The book comes to an abrupt end, and it ends. The book about Africa. That's what happens in this book, guys. It was nothing great. It was just an okay read. I would recommend you better books than this, actually. It was just okay, to tell you the truth. Yeah, that's what happens in the book, guys. Anyways, I hope you liked this video and this book, I Dreamed of Africa by Kugi Gallman. There are a lot of details given about Africa and about her love for Africa and stuff like that. So that's all there is to talk about and to discuss in this book. Okay. Okay, guys. Bye.